Hello, French 1 students. This is Lesson 10, Part C, Les noms et les articles, le pluriel. On pages 154 and 155 in your textbook. So, we have les noms et les articles, le pluriel. Compare the singular and plural forms of the articles and nouns in the sentences below. So just as a reminder, singular means only one, plural means more than one. So we have tu as le livre, tu as les livres, qui est la fille là-bas, qui sont les filles là-bas, voici un sac, voici des sacs, j'invite une copine, j'invite des copines. Okay, so again, they've bolded it here. The differences between singulars and plural. So, before we kind of move on, one of the things you should notice is that le and la become les. And notice that we add an S to the nouns themselves. So the articles change and the nouns change a little bit. Same thing here, un and une become des, and sac and copine get an S. So taking a look at our plural nouns. In written French, the plural of most nouns is formed as follows. We take the singular noun and we add an S. So that's what we saw with livre becoming livre with an S. Okay? All of these right here are examples of that. If the noun ends in S in the singular and plural forms are the same. So all they're saying here is if our noun already ends in an S, we don't add another S to it. So an example here is voici un français, voici des français. Here, okay, we don't add any extra S. In spoken French, the final S of the plural is always silent. So all they're saying is that you don't say that S at the end. So singular and plural are going to sound the same. So again, when I kind of go up here, I have le livre, les livres, la fille, les filles, un sac, des sacs, une copine, des copines. The only way that I can tell the difference is because these articles have changed. The nouns themselves sound the same. Note, des gens, the word people, is always plural. Compare une personne, qui est la personne là-bas, and des jeunes, qui sont les jeunes là-bas. Now, why do we see this change right here? Okay, remember this is a because la personne is singular, and this is sont because les jeunes is plural. So we had to change our verb être. So what we're seeing here, okay, is two things have to happen for nouns to go from being singular to plural in French. We're going to change the article, and we're going to add an S to the ends of our nouns. So, singular and plural articles. The forms of the articles are summarized in the chart below. Again, remember our definite article means that we're asking for something specific. We want a specific one. Again, the singular form is le, la, plural is les. Okay, so this word sounds like L-A-Y. Okay, to help you with how to say it. For the indefinite articles, so we're not asking about something specific. Okay, we have un, day. So this one sounds like day. S'il vous plaît, répétez le, la, les. Les garçons, les filles, les ordinateurs, les affiches. So again, because we have these words starting with a vowel, we hear the S's of the les as Z's. S'il vous plaît, répétez un, des. Des garçons, des filles, des ordinateurs, des affiches. There is liaison after les and des when the next word begins with a vowel sound. So again, what this is talking about is that Z sound that S makes when it's followed by a vowel or a silent H. And des corresponds to the English article some. While some is often omitted or left out, in English, des must be expressed in French, contrast. So what we're talking about here is that in English, sometimes we leave the article the, a, an, or some out of our sentence, but in French, you always must have an article. So in French, nouns always have an article. And again, we've talked about this a couple times. We don't ever use both articles at once, okay, but we have to use one. So our example here is Il y a des livres sur la table. So this literally translates to there are some books on the table, but you could say in English, it would be just fine to say there are books on the table. In English, you could leave this some out, but in French, you must have that des or your sentence is wrong. Je dîne avec des amis translates as I'm having dinner with some friends, okay? But again, in English, we can leave some out, but in French, we have to have that article des in it. So, to make our noun itself, okay, to make our noun itself plural, we add an S to the end, okay? To make our article plural, le and la become les, and un and une become des. So that is the end of that lesson. Your homework is on page 155, exercise 6. The title of exercise 6 is Pluriel, s'il vous plaît. Parler, écrire. Give the plurals of the following nouns. So the title is saying plural, please. The directions are saying this could be a speaking or writing activity. You're going to write it. And it asks you to give the plurals of the following nouns. So the example is that they give you in the book is une copine. So to make this plural, because this is une, the plural article is des. And copine, I have to add an S to it. So I add an S. So that's what I would have to write on my paper. The other example that your book gives you is l'ami, using the definite article. Again, when it becomes plural, the L apostrophe becomes les, and ami to become plural gets an S. So it'd be les amis. So for 1 through 6 that are using these indefinite articles, your plurals will all be des and then an S on your noun. For 7 through 12 that are using either the definite article, L apostrophe, le, or la, the plurals will use les and you will add an S on the end. So that's all you need to do for your homework. Au revoir, à demain.